Go. All right. Are you curious about how to add, say, expired listings to your funnel? Take those people in, and then as they become past closings, they become past clients. You can add to get more repeat and referral in the future. We're going to be talking about that today. Hi, I'm Mike Cerrone with Mastermind Agent, and this is the Referral Mastermind call. And on this call, we have three topics, three basic sections that we go through. One is I share a new idea with you, and today is going to be expired listings. Two, we talk about, we open it up for a mastermind, any topic you want to chat about on how to get more repeat and referrals from your friends, family, and past clients. And then number three, we open it up to talk about anything that you would like to chat about in your real estate practice to take your practice to the next level. So that's kind of the structure of the call. Let's go ahead and hop into the first one, and that's talking about this idea of expired listings. The market is changing. I'm sure everybody knows that by now. We've had a pretty radical shift over the last 6 to 8 months in most markets around the country. Not all, by the way. Real estate is local. You may be experiencing something in your area that's different than everybody else. But this big macro event with the raised interest rates is causing changes in all markets because it's a big macro event. And again, it affects everyone. But your local economy is going to dictate how quickly or slowly that happens as far as employment. That's always number one in your area. And then number two, as far as where your prices have been in their cycle, were they up at the high part or the low part? Regardless of all that, that's kind of interesting fodder. But most importantly is that you're going to start seeing a lot more expired listings if you haven't already. Most markets and people I'm talking to are already seeing an uptick in expired listings. And this is an amazing source of leads for you if you want to get seller listings coming out of expireds. Why is it such a good source? Again, because we've had this super fast market where there haven't been as many expireds. A lot of us kind of forgot about why they're so good. So let's go back through that. And what it is, let's define it. An expired listing is a listing that came on the market. Seller wants to sell their home. They hired a real estate agent. They went to work together for, it depends on how long they put their listing agreement together. In the fast market, you might have done it very short. Might have been 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, 180 days, or commonly is 6 months. So whatever your situation was, or excuse me, whatever the situation was of the seller and the agent, they had an agreement with an expiration date. And for whatever reason, they got to the end and that thing expired. And they did not complete the sale and find a buyer for the home. So the property has expired. It's in the MLS. It's listed there. And check your MLS, but most MLSs allow you to contact that person. I just checked with my MLS, by the way, to make sure that in my area, I'm in Metro Denver, it's called RE Colorado, and I went ahead and checked that out to make sure that I would be complying with this if I ever decide to do it. And their rules are that you can contact expireds, but you cannot contact withdrawals, which is good to know. In the old days, we could contact withdrawals as well. But now in my MLS, I can only contact expired. So make sure you know your rules. Anyway, the MLS has indicated that the property is expired, and that kind of opens up the door for anybody to then reach out to that seller and say, hey, I understand you were thinking about selling your home. Notice that it didn't. Are you interested in interviewing other agents for the job of selling your home? Because if you are, I'd love to have the opportunity to come show you how I get properties sold that should have sold before but didn't, and now they can. So I'd love to come over and chat with you about that. So you have an approach with these folks. The beauty of the expired, let's go through why you'd want to focus on this. These people have raised their hand, right? They say, I want to sell my home. They have motivation of at some level enough to put it on the market. So they must have some motivation because that's a hassle, right? To clean up your house all the time, make sure everything's prepped, allow buyers and strangers to walk through your house. That is not the way most people want to live. So they have some kind of motivation. They wanted to get this sold, but it didn't happen. Well, they are a seller. They are a super hot lead because they want to sell their home. The second reason they're so hot is they're willing to hire an agent and work with an agent. And most importantly, they're willing to pay an agent, right? Uh, they have already done that before where they've signed a listing agreement saying they're willing to pay a real estate agent. So expired listings are super hot for that reason. And it's why you want to go ahead and start approaching them to help them sell their home. There's a couple different ways. And again, we're just going to talk about expired listings as the idea of how to fill your funnel for more repeat and referral in the future. And then we'll go into more referral topics here in a second. But this idea of this expired is something you should definitely be looking at because it is a hot area in the market today and it's growing. How would you approach the expired? There's active and passive ways to reach out to this expired listing, as there are with all prospects. Okay, there's active and passive. So active would mean that you would reach out by phone, which is very fast, door, which is very effective. Those are your two primaries, some kind of face-to-face with them or voice-to-voice with them, where you can have a dialogue. That's going to be your most successful approach and have the quickest result. Some people don't feel comfortable with that though, and so they're looking for alternatives or supplements to that. And that's where the passive marketing comes in. So that's where you have direct mail, either a letter or postcard. If you're able to get it, you can do email. If you have a cell phone, you can even do text. You can do social media if somehow you're able to locate them on social media and target them. There used to be a lot of ways to do that with Facebook. Facebook's been changing their rules lately. But that's kind of like a primary way to go in. That Facebook also includes, of course, Instagram. In any event, you're looking for active and passive ways. And if you're active, we just mentioned a minute ago, what you can do is you can call them up and your approach is very, very simple. You're simply going to introduce yourself. You're going to let them know that you're a real estate agent. You're going to say, hey, I noticed that your home came off the market. And then you're going to say, hey, if you're still thinking about selling your home, I would love to apply for the job of selling your property. When would be a good time for me to show you how I get properties sold that should have sold before, but didn't, and now they can, right? So that's kind of your approach on the phone. You can do the same thing at the door, which by the way is great because very few people will knock on that door, but you're going to be right in front of the folks and it's very effective. Again, though, if you have any hesitation with that, then you want to start looking at direct mail pieces. That's just one that you're going to typically have. You'll have their address because it's right there in the MLS. So direct mail works. It's just it's delayed, right? Because the post office has to get it there. So now we're 2, 3, 4 days delayed versus somebody who got on the phone or knocked on the door. However, it can be effective. And when you get into direct mail, postcards are typically better than letters because postcards are already opened. You know, a letter, if they sense that it's some kind of junk mail, they'll just toss it in the trash. Whereas postcard is right there and you have your message in front of them. Whether they act on it or not depends on the effectiveness of that postcard, but at least it's right there. So we, in the past, have created a postcard campaign when I was out there actively doing things. And it still works very well today. And we call it the Ugly Yellow Postcard Campaign. It's a marketing kit, actually has multiple postcards in it, as well as an entire strategy on how to go after this segment of the market. What I'd like to do is actually share with you a quick sample of that, just to try to help you get the idea. Give me a second. We'll see if I can pop that open properly. Doom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. All right, so hopefully you are seeing my screen, and I get all these weird things on my screen. When I do this, I don't know if you're seeing it as well. So hopefully you're seeing the postcard. This is an example of one side of one of the postcards, just to get you an idea and get your mind flowing. This again goes out to an expired listing. And the question is, hey, do you know why your home did not sell? Because that is the biggest question they have, isn't it? They're so frustrated. They had that home on the market for months, maybe 6 months, maybe longer, and they didn't get a buyer, and they're wondering why, what happened. And so we're going directly to that. This is the first card. And it says, hey, here are some common reasons why your property may not have sold. Not enough marketing. That's what they, number one thing that they were going to say is their agent didn't do a good job and they didn't do enough marketing. So you're talking directly to them in their language and the topic they want to talk about. Bad advertising, same line of thought. Exposure to the wrong market. Again, boy, that agent messed up. Remember, they blame the agent, whether it was fully the agent's responsibility or not, or fault, although in the end it really was, and we'll talk about that in a second. Promoted to unqualified buyers, same idea. Improper staging, incorrect photo selection, MLS listing errors, poor communication. They all feel they didn't have enough communication, and agent errors. Notice that's all talking about the agent and the agent's mistakes or errors. That is who they want to blame. They want to blame somebody for else other than themselves for why this property didn't sell. And ultimately, unfortunately, it was the agent's fault for not being strong enough to get them to change or modify or adjust. But keep going. We'll find out what else this says. Hey, find out exactly why your home did not sell and how to sell it quickly and at the highest price in today's market. I'm an expert at selling homes that should have sold, but did not. I have a solution for you. All right, so now again, we're talking their language, we're addressing the problem that they have, and we're offering a solution. Now it's gonna pique their interest if nothing else. And you're going to offer a free 30-minute consultation to determine the real reason your home did not sell and how to sell it today at your price and in your time frame. Call today for a free home seller selling consultation and then the phone number. So notice this card, again, it talks their language, it talks specifically and directly to them. The other thing it does is it's really ugly. It's such an ugly card. And that's why we call it the ugly yellow postcard, because in direct mail, especially in the old days, oh my gosh, in the old days, everything went through the mail. So people were funneling through dozens, if not hundreds of pieces a day. At least it felt that way. And so they're just over the trash can going, do, 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 do. And you had to do something to stand out, jump out and grab their attention, grab them by the collar and say, hey, check this out. And that's why that headline is so critical, right? Do you know why your home did not sell? That is something they are very sensitive about and want to know an answer to. So it grabs them and then it goes through some issues and hey, here's a solution. But one of the keys is how ugly it is. Do not, if you go this path and you want to create your own thing, do not make it pretty. You have to stand out. Do not make it look like all the other advertising that's all high gloss and high promotion. That's not going to work. Well, maybe it will, but this is going to just jump out. When I went to these ugly yellow things, they work so much better than the slick stuff, the slick, pretty stuff. Any event, I just want to show you a quick idea and a sample of, say, a postcard campaign. We're actually promoting this campaign this week. If you happen to be part of MMA, go ahead and check that out. It's actually pretty cool. Hopefully that helped a little bit on what the card would look like if you would decide to go direct mail route. The biggest thing with expireds is to take action and move quickly, because about 30 to 40% of them relist within the first 7 days. They take action quick. Okay, so you got to be out there fast. So if you're going to get into this, you got to call them fast, knock on the door fast, email them fast. And if you do the mail, you've got to send that out quickly. You don't want to delay. You want to first time the day it comes in, you want to have a system so boom, your postcard goes immediately out to them. And then the other thing though with this is there are a group of them that don't relist right away, and you want to be following up. That's the second big mistake people make. First big mistake is they don't get in touch fast enough. And the second big mistake is, from a strategic point, is that they don't have a long-term program, because everybody will go talk to or reach out to an expired the first or second day when they're really worked up, but nobody's following up with them 1 week, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months later. And you can get a lot of business by picking up, by the way, old expireds. They're 6 months, a year old, 2 years old, people who just kind of put everything on the back burner and now they're kind of interested again by reaching out to them. And here's the contrast. I should have given the contrast earlier. This is so much better than, hey, geographic farming that I used to do, where you go out to 5,000 homes and you mail out 5,000 pieces looking for someone to raise their hand. And these expireds have already done it. So you can invest a lot of time, effort, and money right there in on them because you already know they're interested in selling. All right, so that's that. That's our first new idea Again, on these calls, we go into three parts. Number one is a new idea. Today was expired listings, get some past clients to add in, and then get more repeat referral from them. People are looking for sources of supplementary business, and there you go. Very inexpensive and easy to get into. It just does take some effort, right? And some focus. Number two is we open up now. Let me just tell you this. So number two, we're going to open up in a second for anything that you want to talk about with your repeat and referral business. So have those questions ready. And then number three is any question you'd like to ask about any part of your real estate practice, and how we can help you there. Any challenges you're experiencing or things you'd like to share. All right, at this point, let's do this. I just shared with you this first idea of expireds. Do you have any questions about it? Any comments about it? Have you gone after expireds? Have you had success, had failure? Anything worked that you want to talk about? Are you thinking about going after expireds? Any of that, go ahead, unmute yourself. Let us know what you're thinking. All right. Well, you can also, by the way, I'll mention that we have a chat option. You can, if your microphone's not working or your place you can't talk, just go ahead and type into the chat, and I'll try to read it and understand what you're saying, and bring that up as we're going along. All right, if you have any questions about that expired approach, go ahead and drop them in, or unmute yourself and let me know. And if not, let's go to round two. Round two is where we talk about repeat and referrals, okay? The hot topic of this call. So do you have any challenges you're experiencing, any questions you have, how to reach out to them, how to talk to them, how to put your list together, any questions you have on that, what you should be expecting from it? If you do, now's a great time to talk about your practice and repeat and referral specifically. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and unmute yourself and let's chat about it. Okay, so the reason I do that, by the way, is if you tell me the topic you want to talk about, we'll focus in on it and make sure you have a great productive call, because I'm here for you, number one, to try to help you. That's why we do these calls, by the way. It's just to help you move your business along. Expired used to be a great source of business for me. As you know, I used to be a pretty heavy listing agent. My best month, I listed 21 homes in 30 days. That was very exciting. And several of those were expired listings, not all, but several. I was doing geographic farming, but also FSBOs and expires, because they're just such a great source of listings. And now, again, we just talked about the expired side. All right, but then repeat and referral, that is where your long-term business is. And the top agents, all the top agents, that's where their focus is. At least 50% of their business comes from repeat referral. And the top solo agents is usually even higher, usually in the 70, 80, 90% zone. So again, if you have any questions, go ahead, type them in, unmute yourself, let us know what you'd like to chat about. Okay. All right, I'm going to switch to the next section of the call then. And this is the third round. And what this is anything you'd like to chat. Remember, this is a mastermind. So we just open up, we talk, we share, we help each other. Anything you would like to chat about in your real estate practice. Are you experiencing any challenges? Are you having successes? Are you have a question about how to make something work? This is the time to get it out there. We're live. We can have a dialogue. We can go back and forth and get some answers for you, at least some ideas, and get you moving in the right direction. If you do, go ahead, unmute yourself. Let us know what you're thinking, what you'd like to chat about, and or chat it into that meeting chat box. Okay. Well, I don't. I don't hear anybody. I don't see anybody making comments. Um, so I'm going to wrap up our call today. And I appreciate you being here. Again, I'll give you one last opportunity. If there's anything you really want to get burning in there and you want to get it out there and you want to get some feedback on, great opportunity. So go ahead, unmute yourself, put it in chat. Give you 30 seconds. Let's try that. And then if we don't have anything, we'll wrap up. All right, I don't see anything over here. Well, I'm assuming there's nothing coming in through chat. I don't have anybody unmuting themselves. So again, boy, I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a fantastic and productive rest of your day. Thank you for being here for the Mastermind call. If you missed any of this and you want to see a recording of it, that first part where we were going into the expired listings, just go over to our YouTube channel. It'll be up there by the end of the day. And that is at Mastermind Agent Network. Mastermind Agent Network is the YouTube channel where it'll be. Look in the referral mastermind call section. And then you will also, if you're part of the Facebook group, you can go ahead and check that out in the referral mastermind on the Facebook group. All right. Thanks again for joining us. Hope you have a fantastic and productive week. Take care. Bye now.